Look at that. That's as cool as one of those old growth redwoods you'll see in California. Just as beautiful. Just as remarkable of an organism. What causes that mutation? Because a lot of cacti get that cristate fasciated form to them. Look, it's even got a little hole in there. Yeah, it almost kind of looks like a butthole. Just got to go out there and say it, you know? Let's not get too serious. I love all this. I love you, my friend, but let's not get too serious. You got to keep a sense of humor in this fucking dark world. Just a fucking... Man, that's something else. Another nice day in West Texas, another beautiful morning, and everything is going off. You can see the ocotillos leafed up, Fucaria splendens, okay, one of 10 species in the genus, maybe 12, I don't know how many. Techilia gregii is going off. Techilia, the genus Techilia, is normally just a matted little, prostrate growing plant, doesn't get very tall. This is a shrubby species. Look at those damn flowers. I wish somebody was growing this. Seems like it's pretty easy to grow from seed. And then, of course, we got this stunner right here, Leucophyllum minus. All right, this purple bastard. Look at that, all lit up. Senecio, Leucophyllum frutescens, gets planted out in horticulture a bunch. You can even buy some somewhat ugly cultivars at Home Depot and other big box garden centers. But this species I rarely see in cultivation. It's called Leucophyllum minus because it's got much tinier leaves than Leucophyllum frutescens. What a fucking great plant, though. Look at that, just lit up. Oh, it's so nice to see a whole bunch of these all together lighting up the desert. And of course, we got our living rock cactus, Ariocarpus fissuratus, which should be going off soon. Should be lighting up in pink since they all bloom. I think all of the, how many, 7, 8, 9 species in the genus all bloom late summer, early fall. There we go, Coryphantha echinus. The spines acting not just as armed defense, but also as a shade screen. Look at that, there's the other species of Techilia, Techilia canescens. Not a tall, well, somewhat tall woody shrub like Techilia gregii. Boraginaceae is the femito. Look at that, still got those canescent leaves, those silvery leaves with the tiny hairs on them and the nice pink flowers. And here's a stunner. Look at this, a hibiscus, a desert hibiscus, Hibiscus coulteri. Look at that thing. Same flower structure as any other hibiscus, but it's growing in a place that's exceedingly dry, windy, and hot as balls. Got all those stamens surrounding that hollow tube, and then the style poking out the center. See that 5-lobed style. Look at the leaves on this thing. Highly reduced and covered in stiff little hairs. Well, no, they're more like pressed. It's certainly hirsute. Like so many of the Malvaceae, stellate trichomes. God, everything is lit up right now. Here's a species in the genus Menadora, which is in the olive and the ash tree family Oleaceae, which is in the order Lamiales, the Salvia order. There's the fruits looking like little balls, and there's those yellow flowers. There's quite a few species of Menadora in the American West. There's one in Nevada that's actually a shrub. And quite a few cool ones, too. You know, that one's missing how many stamens we got in there? No, that's unique. Only 2 stamens. 2 stamens in a single style. Look at that distinct calyx, those sepals, those long, linear, lanceolate sepals. Look at that Leucophyllum. God, I could smell it from here. Look at that. Just, there's so much of it. Oh, it's fucking nice. It's intoxicating. It's really nice to see. And this guy is obviously Asteraceae, obviously in the sunflower family. This is Picridiniopsis absinthifolia. You can see the leaves are also very canescent, very silvery, covered in tiny hairs, chalky mint green, and the leaves are trifid as well. Well, leaves and stems are silvery. The whole fucking plant is. And then there's what the phyllaries look like, because remember, you got to flip the flowers of Asteraceae, the damn yellow composites on the side, and see what the phyllaries look like. One series of phyllaries, not 2 or 3. And the shape of them, pretty elongated, linear, maybe with a little ridge in the middle of them. So that plant right there, that's all Parthenium incanum, which you can also see right here, very common in West Texas. It's also a member of the sunflower family Asteraceae, except it's got very tiny reduced flowers, and those ligules, what you might call petals, are just those little white things that look like teeth. But the flower structure is still the same. That what looks like a tiny little flower actually has 20 tinier little flowers in it. And then right there we got Cobrolinia spinosa. Great native plant. Wish more people were growing these. I got 3 little seedlings I'm growing in my yard. There's the fruits with a seed inside. Looks like a little berry. Is it a drupe or a berry? How many seeds? I forget. I think just 1 seed, maybe a couple. Anyway, Brassicales mustard order. It's gotten rid of its leaves. It's just doing photosynthesis to the stem. One of many plants. I think there's like 4 or 5 unrelated plants that have this kind of general unrelated plants that are converging, evolutionarily converging on spiny stems and photosynthetic stems. Adaptation to life in this rather extreme place. The Euphorbia antisyphilitica is blooming. I mean, everything's blooming, so it's not surprising that the Achillea greggii looks absolutely stunning. Again, just little pom-poms. Number of hairs, they're adaptive in very arid and windy places. Look at all those hairs. Jesus Christ, the flowers just popping out of a little pom-pom of hairs. And here's the flower on those Euphorbia antisyphilitica. Look at that. Remember, those aren't petals, they're just cyathial bracts, because that's not a single flower, that's a cyathium. One of those is not a flower, it's a cyathium. So it's a bunch of unisexual male flowers and then a single female flower. You can't see the female right there. It's not a female. Let's see if we can find the female flower. A cyathium with a female flower. There you go. There's the see that red stigma? That's a female flower. An independent unisexual female flower surrounded by all those yellow things correspond to the male flowers. Lots of members of Euphorbiaceae have unisexual flowers. They're monoecious or dioecious frequently. Yeah, look, there's quite a few ovaries. See, that red thing will mature into the ovary. Great plant, though. Doesn't use hairs, uses wax to protect against the desiccating, aka drying effect of the desert, of the Chihuahua desert. Look at all the wax on that thing. I snipped a branch off just so I could get some macro shots of the flowers. Look at that. It's like plant sunscreen. Just thick lipids. Just, I think they're long chain fatty acids. Jesus Christ. You okay? Yeah, she's hiding beneath the Vicelli over there. I feel bad, you know. This is dog abuse. I have to get her some Frosty Paws later. I got a canteen of ice water. You know, she's had plenty to drink. I think it just sucks when you're wearing a fur coat. Oh, look, it's an Ericarpus. Like a little pancake. That tissue, that yellow stuff around the edge is just dead tissue. It's still alive in the center, which is where the dead center is where the apical meristem is and new growth is occurring. But yeah, that yellow stuff is just the dead cuticle. Ericarpus has some of the thickest cuticle. That's basically the waxy covering that seals the plant off from the atmosphere. It's an adaptation in land plants. You know, when they evolved out of green algae. I think it's like 250 nanometers thick in the case of Ericarpus, and a lot of other plants it's maybe 7 to 9 nanometers thick. But it's definitely an adaptation in the desert. Develop a thicker cuticle. I mean, it almost feels like keratin, like fingernails. It's so thick. Oh look, the peyote's flowering. It's a beautiful little... God, I love that plant. I love the plant, but the whole culture around it really fucking bums me out. God, you sound like some fucking broken windshield wipers on crack. All right, let's give you some water. Get that nice icy cold water. Like my canteen. Yeah, I love when people see that. They think it says coexist. It actually says eat a dick. It's kind of how I feel about all the world religions. Yeah, it almost looks like somebody was rooting around. I hope it's not pigs. It's not poachers, because that would be a deeper hole. Look at that fatty. But yeah, you know, peyote culture bums me out. You know, lots of new age quackdom in it. I mean, it's very helpful for a lot of people. I shouldn't say it bums me out. Elements of it bum me out. There's just so much petty infighting and fucking tribalism and just, you know, just the typical human bullshit. Oh, look at that little cutie. That's a nice one. You know, lots of poaching, selling, and then you get the whole cactus collectors thing. Those fucking guys bum me out. Oh my God. All primarily male. All trying to compete with each other, talking shit, poaching, supporting. There's such a dark and negative side to it. You know, and so few people care about the actual botany or conservation. And God forbid you try to get anybody else interested in all the other plants that grow with it, you know? Instead of just the species itself that's psychoactive and has an anthropocentric use, God forbid you try to get them interested in Leucophyllum minus or Escobaria, or maybe some of them get into Areocarpus too, or Escobaria tuberculosa. You know, I feel bad for her. I'm going to have to give her some special treatment. You know, I cook in the crock pot for her and Jack. Chicken and rice. You got to treat them right, you know. And then if you leave the house and you can't bring them with, you know, you put on a TV for them or something. You know, you put on Jack likes to watch. She used to like to watch Maury Povich or Judge Mathis, any of those shows. You know, you got to do what you can for the dogs. Yeah, look, it's got a fruit on it too. Red for bird dispersal. This almost looks like a mam, but mammillarias have they flower in a concentric ring, so they produce fruits in a concentric ring, not right at the tip. Looks like when you see these dead, they look like an old corn cob, which leads to the common name corn cob cactus. I think that's one of the names. I don't know. I don't fucking pay attention to common names. Then you got this guy, Picridiniopsis absinthifolia, which I showed you before, which is so dominant here. All kinds of cool Bouteloua grasses. Looks like the eyelash grass. Looks like a coyote decided to take a shit there. It's nice. You know, I leave little, there's been a fox that's been hanging out in my neighborhood. He shit right in front of my sidewalk. He said shit on the sidewalk right in front of my house the other day. Yeah, the peyote shit. You know, I blame the drug war too. You make something illegal, you immediately turn it into something to fetishize. People just want to do it to get fucked up. They just have that let's get fucked up mentality. You know, lowest common denominator shit, bottom of the brainstem shit. You know, this beautiful limestone. Nerisarenia camporum. All right, 4-petaled like so many of the mustards. I think like all the mustards. Brassicaceae, it's a desert mustard. Look, you got 6 stamens. See those 6 yellow anthers? Remember, it goes pollen anther filament. That's what composes a stamen. 6 stamens and 4 petals and 4 sepals. And the sepals on a lot of the Brassicaceae have a very distinct look to them. See, they're kind of cupped. See that? Oh, and the anthers, I forget the anthers have a really weird shape on the mustard family too. Synapomorphies. It's how you figure out what the fuck plant family you're looking at. But again, you try to tell a lot of the peyote people, the drug bros, even a lot of the natives are always fighting with each other over dumb shit. Try to tell them any of that, they don't listen. You know, nobody cares about the botany. They just want the fucking, you know, they want the drugs. They want to get fucked up. They want something, you know, just anthropocentrism. Me. Isn't that the whole point? How do you sit in a peyote meeting? How do you sit in a peyote meeting and not listen to that message? All of them flowering. Wonder how old that is. Probably goes 9 inches down into that ground. Remember, most of the stem is underground. Fucking selfishness, you know. It's like that Shel Silverstein book. You know, someone should make a children's book about peyote. Make a version of the Giving Tree about peyote. Look at that, Hydropha dioica, another member of Euphorbiaceae, right there, providing the shelter and the shade for that massive loaf that's probably 100 years old, if not more. That's nice right here. This is a beautiful split. I just come here. I just want to hang out with these guys. I just want to say hi, you know, touch them, give them a little kiss, document what's pollinating them, like that little bee that I just saw fly by. I took my 4-year-old daughter out here, you know. I said, you kiss the peyote. You kiss it, and you say, hello, good morning. And, you know, start her with the peyote, and then you get her doing that to all the other plants. Having a reverence for the living world. And maybe learning a little bit of science about it, too. It's not bad. You know, I gave that fox shit for taking a shit in front of my house, but I figure it's better a fox doing it than a wino. No offense to the winos, but When I lived in Oakland, that was the thing. The winos and the crackheads would sometimes shit in front of my house, you know. Once caught a guy beating it. Well, nah, we won't even talk about that. That's going to make this from a PG-13 film to an R-rated film. Look at the Jatropha dioica. Oh my God. That's... Look at that. It's a crested one. It's a mutant. A mutated beast. You know, those cactus nerds go nuts over this shit. This thing will get ripped off. Looks like somebody left a little offering. Little horseshoe. Hey, you come here, you leave an offering. You know? Leave some tobacco. Maybe some fruit. Don't put it too close to it. Well, you know the Buddhists do that. They leave the fruit. You could leave something nice and biodegradable. Look at how the ends of that are browning. Is that just the sunburn? Because the tissue's thinner there, or what? God, hide this from the fucking cactus nerds. You get some of those cactus bros, especially some of those Europeans out here. No offense. You know, I got European friends, right? I'm not prejudiced against the European cactus nerds. I just like making fun of them a little bit. Actually, there's some fucking people doing some really cool stuff over there. I know a guy who's doing a lot of habitat recreations. He actually appreciates the ecology. Where is he? In Belgium? Bismarck? I don't know. I have an American sense of geology of Europe. I'm good at the rest of the world, but my geography of Europe, geography, not geology. My geography of Europe is not the, you know, there's not many good plants there, no offense. It's been, you know, it's where civilization, the shit that ruined North America the last 500 years is where it's got its start, you know? So, shouldn't say civilization, but, you know, I'm just fucking ranting. Just appreciate this. Just shut up and listen to this. Look at that. How old is that thing? That's got to be 200 or 300 years old. And may it live there for another 200 or 300 years without getting ripped out or poached by some of the collectors. Look, left a big hole in the ground, but it does look really good in my collection. It looks amazing in my collection. I understand wanting to appreciate the living world and nature, but there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. Protecting land, growing from seed, expressing reverence for these things, you know, mimicking them in art. That's the way to do it, not taken from habitat, you fucking nerds, you primate hoarding complex dipshit motherfucker. Look at that. That's as cool as one of those old growth redwoods you'll see in California. Just as beautiful. Just as remarkable of an organism. What causes that mutation? Because a lot of cacti get that cristate fasciated form to them. Look, it's even got a little hole in there. Yeah, it almost kind of looks like a butthole. Just got to go out there and say it, you know? Let's not get too serious. I love all this. I love you, my friend, but let's not get too serious. You got to keep a sense of humor in this fucking dark world. Just a fucking, man, that's something else. I bet one of those cactus nerds could tissue culture this. No reason to dig. Could probably tissue culture that. You know? And then that would satiate the demand so you don't get any of those other jadrule bastards coming out here digging it. That's cool. What is that? Chalcedony? I think somebody might have left this here, and I think I know who. Is an offering. I don't have anything. I should have brought an offering too. What do we got? Oh, Louie's hanging out under her creosote bush. I was going to ask her. Maybe she knows. You know, maybe she had an idea. It's so beautiful out here. Look at the little Ocotillo, Fucaria splendens. Oh, there's another guy right there. I love him so much. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. How you doing? Pleasure to see you. Even though they're growing in the shade, they've still got that thick farina, that waxy coating that makes them appear so blue. Look, it's Seta, which is a genus in Malvaceae. And I forget what Seta that is. Fuck, there's like 3 of them I've seen out here. And then you got Glandula cactus uncinnatus right there too, which has those fishhook spines, but not to be confused with Haematocactus haematocanthus, aka another type of barrel cactus that you get both the West Texas and the South Texas ecotype, because it's got, when you look beneath those spines, it's got a different tubercle setup. It's got a different morphology of the actual stem. Remember, stems on cacti have tubercles, and then they've got areoles, and then out of those areoles come the spines. They can have radial spines and central spines as well. Actually, I'm all fucked up. Maybe this is hematocactus. I don't know. Who gives a shit? I love them all. You know, it's hard to tell right now. When they're in flower, you could tell. If it was a little bit larger, I could tell. That might be hematocactus. I don't know. They both, hematocactus and glandula cactus, both have those hooked spines. Those nice peyotes, man. God, this rock has got to be 120 degrees. How do you sit in a peyote meeting, or do any psychedelic for that matter, and still come out thinking about yourself? Me, not seeing a bigger picture. Ego dissolution. Isn't that supposed to be what it's about? Huh? You didn't listen. Right? And likewise, that saying about psychedelics, when you do listen, when you finally get the message, hang up the phone. Stop doing them. I understand some people aren't going to listen to that, but fucking hell. It's not recreational, man. It's growth and insight. That's the point of everything. That's the point of it. Self-growth and insight, becoming a better person, listening to the wisdom, not just getting fucked up. Look at that stigma. That probably goes 9 inches down into the ground right there. You gotta at least know flower parts, for fuck's sake. You gotta know reproductive biology of plants. If you're watching this and you don't know that, I got some beef with you. I'll put a flower diagram up on the generic-ass flower diagram up on the screen right now. All right, pay attention, read up, learn a fucking thing or two about the living world around you. That's a way to respect it. Learning about something is a way to show respect for it. Huh? You jadrool? And I'm going to take a few more pictures of Grandpa over here just because he looks so good. But it is hot, and Louie's, though she's in the shade, and I could tell she's not too stoked, not too into this. Actually, you know what? It's probably not a grandpa. All right? It's probably a she. Let's be honest. Life giver, it's probably a she. If it was a man, they'd just be fighting over dumb shit and fucking things up. Fighting with each other, swinging their dicks around, trying to look important, trying to hide. Just trying not to look stupid in front of each other. That's what a lot of men do. Trying not to look like a fucking idiot in front of each other. Again, that primate neurology, that fucking primate brain chemistry. God, what a beautiful plant. I can't get over it, man. How gorgeous. Oh, that's nice. You could see someone even left a little, I didn't notice this before, left a little necklace. That's kind. I like seeing people appreciating plants. All right, buddy. I'm going to get out of here. Nice to meet you. You look great. Hope it's not too long before I see you again. I don't not have anything to give. I got this cool rock I found. This other one almost looks like it's been worked. Put that there. I'll just start collecting cool rocks and bringing them, Pay homage. Pay respect. Also, though it's kind of sad, when the Ariocarpus die, they leave behind that cuticle. So it's a good opportunity to actually look at the cuticle of this species, which is some of the thickest of any plant. Again, there was a paper, I think I saw 250 nanometers, which is a very thick cuticle. Right? Cuticles, of course, they're in a botany textbook. That's one of the first things you learn about plant morphology and about plant evolution. In order for plants to come on land, once they evolved from green algae, they had to evolve a vascular system. They couldn't just diffuse things right through their cells like a lot of the algae do. And they had to develop a cuticle to protect them from drying out. Not all plants have a vascular system, of course. The mosses don't. But regardless, there you go. There's that cuticle. Great example of a cuticle in plants. A protective layer that seals them off from the atmosphere. Look at that desert hibiscus, that hibiscus coulteri. Astrolepis integerrima. No, that's cochicensis, I think. Just growing open and exposed. That's kind of weird. Still alive at the base of all those fern fronds, but otherwise it's just crispy. Look at all that purple. Ooh, the fruits on Echinocactus horizontaloneus are ready. So I'm going to take one and, see, they already let the seeds out. I was going to just disperse it for it, but fine. That's fine. Let the ants do it for you, I suppose. You can see when they're not mature, when they are maturing, it just looks like a bunch of white fluff. And then when they fully mature, it pushes up a little bit. The fruit is pushed up a little bit, and then you can see that pink. The pink is visible. And, of course, all the seeds inside are black, so we know they're good. Look at that Bouteloua, that grass. It's like wonderful native grass. You got Mortonia sempervirens right there, Celestraceae with those really cool imbricate leaves. Right here you got Forestiaria and Gustifolia, which again, this like that Menador is in the olive family Oleaceae, which is in the sage order Lamiales. Why am I telling you all this shit? Because I want you to remember it. Because taxonomy and classification will give you information about how evolutionarily related one thing might be to another. Everything's grouped by family, order, etc. We're letting her take a break. Just gave her some more water. But anyway, what else we got? And we got that Leucophyllum minus too, and then Parthenium and Canum. I always, I mention this stuff. People write me. Some guy wrote me from, where was he, Odessa or something? He wanted to know what to put in his yard after he kills his lawn. So, once people write me, then it's like, shit, I got to help them. I can't just leave them hanging. Agave lechugia, Dacylirion, Leophyllum. Oh, there's a really nice one. There's a Mandevilla macrosiphon. That right there is Mandevilla macrosiphon. Opposite leaves, and you can see little bullhorn fruits. Can you see them on it? It looks like little elongated horns. It's another night bloomer. It's another moth-pollinated plant. Oh yeah, see, there you go. There's those fruits. Apocynaceous fruits, okay? A lot of members of Apocynaceae have two follicles right next to each other looking like little bullhorns, and this has elongated flowers. These were elongated flowers when they, see, you can still see the flowers still on it. Residual flower. Remember, the fruit comes out of the flower. Every flower will turn into a fruit if it gets pollinated. Moth-pollinated, elongated white flowers when they're going off. They smell fucking divine, and then there'll be seeds in there. I got to come back and get seeds of this. Probably another 2-3 weeks maybe. A lot of seed collecting to do in the desert in fall, early winter. That mountain lion was around here too. I came here once. I saw a mountain lion and it just killed an aoudad. Aoudad are invasive sheep that are endangered in their home ecosystem, but invasive and destructive here. Well, look at this croton. There's another great plant for a Chihuahua desert garden. There's like 6 different croton species here. Euphorbiaceae rubber family, that's the male flower. You also have female flowers. Where are they? Female flower will have an ovary on it. Right here we got Encilia scoposa. The scape, for which it's named, is here. It was a big yellow daisy flower. Otherwise, it just looks like grass, looks like an unremarkable plant. It's a fucking great plant, though, and kind of rare. Loves limestone in West Texas and northern Mexico. Here's Hebecarpa macradinia polygalaceae, which is in the order Fabales. I don't get it. How do people not appreciate this shit, Because you get indoctrinated. You get your mind all fucked up growing up. I mean, it happens to all of us. We think a garden should look like some European shit or some tropical shit. We're so disconnected from what's real, and we have no awareness of place, no awareness of the plants that compose the landscapes we live on, or especially what was there 200 years before we built our houses and horrible strip malls on top of them. Oh, nice Areocarpus. Look at that. Look at that. Echinocactus horizontaloneus got nibbled on, probably by an aoudad or something, then it just sprouted 2 side sprouts. Look at that limestone. Look at that dimpling. Just reacting with acidic rainwater over centuries. What really bums me out about a lot of the native plants out here too is that there's not that many people growing them. All right? A lot of like the Boutelouas and at least these ecotypes. Jesus Christ, is that oh, there's another one. Buddleia marubiifolia. It's another fucking banger. A native relative, that horribly invasive and terrible butterfly bush that's so invasive on the East Coast that I just kind of hate. Like a Home Depot plant. Same genus though. That's a Buddleia. This is a Buddleia. This is the native Buddleia. This is a Buddleia that's been through tens of thousands of years of selection pressure in the Chihuahua desert. It takes very little to get it established. Nobody's watering out here. You water it in the garden once in a while, it'll thrive. It just gets lit up. The leaves will get bigger. It flowers all the time. I got one in my yard. It looks fucking great. But this thing, it's just, they're just trying to hang on, hold in, and survive, They'll thrive out. They'll thrive in a garden. They just kind of sit tight here. Double-headed areo, again with the tissue, the dead yellow tissue, that dead yellow cuticle on the outside. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at all those trichomes fluffing up right there. Somebody's getting ready to flower. That guy too, it looks like. It's like little pink flags on the landscape. you'll end up realizing there's Ariocarpus where you didn't even realize they were once they flower. Okay, we're taking a break here, under this rock, because it's a little hot. We're not too far from where we parked, but anyway. But check out this moss, Grimmia levigata, a desert moss, not dead, just hanging in there, but it's hairy, which is pretty notable too. It like makes this little beard. A non-vascular plant that's grown in the desert. Normally you think of mosses growing in forests, on the north side of trees, that whole shit. But, I guess it's grown on the north side of this rock, but it's grown in the shade. Regardless, it's got what it can take to eke out a living in this extremely dry and hot place. Well, it could be chilly as hell, too. It's the Chihuahua Desert. Anyway, what you're looking at there is the gametophyte that's haploid, only one set of chromosomes, only one copy of the genome. And then the sporophyte will be diploid and non-photosynthetic. And it'll release spores that will, I think, might be a little sporophyte there, actually. The whole alternation of generations thing. Ooh, there's Coryphantha echinus in fruit. Look at that. I've grown those from seed. I grew a shit ton, actually. They need full sun, and maybe they're limestone. The other limestone would help. They're not limestone obligates like most of the stuff here. They could just tolerate it. Yeah, there's the fruits on an Escobaria tuberculosa. Fuck, it's hot. Ah, Leucophyllum minus. God, you could smell it. What a great plant. We need people growing this stat. This needs to be available at native plant nurseries from here to El Paso, maybe even New Mexico too. Look at that. There's more offerings? Oh, yeah. Oh, I know who left this little yarn painting. Oh, that's nice. I love that. Human reverence for nature. Yeah, that was one of my friends. Got a couple friends that are into that, They make really nice yarn paintings. Here's looking at you, Leo and Curtis. It's nice they left it there. I'm surprised it hasn't blown away. Wonder how recent. See that mint green color? That's all Encilia scoposa. I like how it just follows a seam in the rock right there. Just looking like grass. It's actually a really cool and rare member of the sunflower family. Look at that. There's a big patch of that moss, that Grimmia levigata. Just looking like a little beard. This is all sandstone now. We've moved on to a layer of sandstone. Same age though, mid-Cretaceous, roughly like 80 to 100 million years ago. Thymophila acerosa, native member of the marigold tribe of Asteraceae. Scatter. Might as well scatter these Escobaria seeds. You could see these flowers on that mandevilla are just wrapping up for the night. See that? Oh, they could still smell them though. They smell divine. But they open at dusk and then they're closed up by noon the next day. You can get those opposite leaves, but again, covered in hairs. All right, adaptive in the desert. You try to grow shit that doesn't have hair or a thick cuticle on it or wax like that Euphorbia antisyphilitica, you're going to be facing an uphill battle. Oh, that's cool. Look, little baby Ocotillo. I wonder how old that thing is. Christ. May it live long. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of a heat stroke. I can feel it setting in right now. Anyway, that's all I got. Have a great rest of your day. Go fuck yourself. Bye.